This is Conservative Roundtable, and here we're today with Chris, with Mail by Renee, and he's got a lot of good insights on the future of how America will be great again. Chris, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me, John. It's a pleasure.
Well, there's been a lot of stuff going on. Hillary was in Las Vegas, Nevada yesterday. You have Biden earlier. I think he's going to be here today. So it looks like Nevada is going to be a deciding factor in this election.
Yes.
It's going to be critical, not only for the presidency, for the U.S. Senate.
Yes. That's letting everybody know when you have this many politicians in one state and in one city, because Las Vegas, it makes up a huge amount of the vote in Nevada, so they know how important. Look at where the next debate is going to be. So people in Las Vegas understand how important this state is and get out and vote for Donald Trump.
Yeah, October 19th will be the final debate between Hillary and Donald Trump. It's going to be pretty amazing. That's one debate I want to see.
Yes,
it's going to be pretty incredible. It's probably going to have like 150 million people watching that debate. That is pretty awesome.
That is awesome.
And it seems like more and more Americans are getting involved. They want to get involved in this process, and there may be a high turnover. I mean, not turnover, but there may be a high vote on Election Day.
Absolutely.
So the presidency is a very vital one. I think it's a one that will work very good, and but there's other topics that are going on. The one issue that I really got worked up about is Podesta. Podesta came up with that idea that Latinos are needy, and that all the Democratic Party had to do was call them, and they'll be there running for them to do what they need to get done.
Wow.
What do you think?
That's an insult. My mother was a Latina, and she's very hardworking and very independent thinking. She was educated. She put herself through school. She had a master's degree in education, and so I find that to be an insult. They always talk about insulting things that Donald Trump says. I think you just insulted an entire community by saying that. I don't find Latinas to be needy whatsoever. That's ridiculous. We are some of the hardest working people. I know your family was, John, your dad was. That's an insult to us. So get out and vote for Donald Trump, because you see what they think about us behind closed doors and in front of the camera. You see what they really think about us as a community, that we are needy and we are dependent. So, Donald Trump hires tens of thousands of Hispanics to work for his properties all over the world. So, get out and vote for Donald Trump, and now their true colors are starting to come out the closer to the election.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt about it that it was really an outrageous and shameful statement by Podesta, and to be, it's that old idea that here they have a private conversation and they have public conversation. They tell Latinos one thing in public, and then behind closed doors they're talking about them. That they're basically needy, and it's just terrible. I mean, as a United States military veteran, I really feel very ashamed by these people doing things like that, because what's happening is that there has been a lot of Latino members of the U.S. Armed Forces that have given their life for America. They've been in the battlefield. They're no longer the same person when they went in, because they've given their mental state of being for this country. To me, that's not needy. That means they're dependable. Right. They're loyal. Absolutely. They're honest. They're hardworking. Latinos go out there and they take a lot of bullshit, a lot of crap from these politicians that take them for granted. That when the time comes for, what do? During election time, pat you on the back, take a photo opportunity. I hear Hillary Clinton went to a taco shop yesterday and had a taco of how great she loves Latinos, but yet she talks really bad about them behind closed doors. Yeah. Now, you know what, America, we don't need that kind of politician in the White House. We don't need to have that kind of politician, career politician, as your commander-in-chief. You know, we need a businessman that's going to go out there and change the status quo, change the establishment. You know, we got shortchanged by Barack Obama during the last administration. Let's not get shortchanged again by Hillary Clinton and have the same old corrupt political process.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's just so frustrating, John, to me, is that, like I was saying on the last show with Rolando and yourself, is that where are the ideas? You know, I think that, you know, they try and make immigration reform something that is important to Americans, and especially they try and say to white Americans. But I think to Latinos, immigration reform is just as important to us. People want to come to this country legally. They don't want to live in fear. I don't think if you go to most Hispanic families, you know, some have people in their family that are here illegally, and they would much rather have their family members here on a path to legal citizenship. I don't think it's just an American problem. It's a Latino problem too. And where are the ideas? You know, the last ideas, correct or incorrect, was Ronald Reagan's ideas in the 80s. And even though I don't totally agree with some of his decisions as far as amnesty and others are concerned, a lot of people did take that opportunity to come to this country then and get on a path to legal citizenship. At least it was an idea, and now the only thing that is given to Latinos is words, but there is no comprehensive immigration reform. There's nothing getting done. It's just words to get through the election, and then after the election, nothing's done. It's all the same.
Well, you know, I remember when Ronald Reagan was doing the amnesty, and I remember the conversation and the political dialogue. That was going to be the last amnesty. That was like, okay, we have all this illegal immigrant problem, but yet they're here in the United States. They're working hard. They're following the laws. They're trying to do what's good for America. And so let's give it one more shot at it.
Right.
And they had a cutoff. They says, okay, look, as of this date, boom. Everybody else coming in is going to have to go by the process. They're going to have to do the right thing. Absolutely. And you know, there's people from all over the world trying to get into America. And they have to follow a process. We just can't have people crossing the border willy-nilly whenever they want to. They got to come in legally.
Absolutely, John. Because you don't know who's coming in, do you? We don't know who's coming in, and it's amazing.
It's dangerous. Yes. It's unsafe. You know, first of all, we don't know what kind of diseases are coming into America. Absolutely. You know, we don't know what kind of terrorist or criminal or just totally evil person coming into America going to do harm to us. You know, so I think we need to be smart about this. Donald Trump is the only one that is showing true leadership in it and says, you know what, we have a problem. We got to solve it, and we got to solve it now.
Absolutely.
You know, that's my motto. The best moment is now.
That's right.
And that's the kind of attitude that Donald Trump has, and I subscribe to that.
Absolutely.
You know, we can't put it off to the next administration or the next administration or you know, we owe it to solve the problems now. The people have been demanding it to get it done now.
Right. It's amazing. I mean, even we've become so politically correct. He just had a simple idea that we vet seriously, or maybe even put a halt for a while until we figure out what's going on, because you have so many of these people that are coming from these Middle Eastern countries that are coming here and are starting to plant bombs, whether it's in Boston or New York and all he's saying is, let's wait and let's check out these people that are coming over here. Let's maybe even put a halt to just allow and Hillary Clinton wants to up the amount of people, that refugees that she's allowing to come in from these countries in the Middle East, and not even background check them, not even vet. If she wants to up the percentage, I think 600%, to allow more immigrants to come in from these countries, and we can't even talk real about it. You don't know who these people are. You don't know what their beliefs are. Do they hate America? Do they love America? Why are they coming here? You're not even allowed to talk about that anymore. You're a racist. It's unbelievable. You can't even love this country or want this country to be safe. You're a racist. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I think what has happened is that they've come in with a philosophy of acceptable collateral damage. You know, it's okay to have it's okay to have certain terrorist attacks in America. That's okay. It's okay if we lose Americans, tens or thousands of Americans through terrorist attacks. It's something going to happen. So we just go ahead and accept that, which is wrong type of analysis. It's a wrong type of a process. We should not be willing to accept not one American to be murdered by terrorists.
John, it's like they're turning a blind eye. Like they don't want to know. It's like you said, they accept the fact that that's just going to happen. We're going to have a few terrorist attacks, you know, out of the bunch. We're going to have a few. What can you do about it? But we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Yeah, and so the political talk is political correctness with terrorists. Right. Let's just be nice to them, and maybe they might not kill 100,000 or million Americans if we're nice to them.
Unbelievable.
You know, what kind of strategy is that?
That's Obama's strategy. That's going to be Hillary Clinton's strategy. That's why we need to elect Donald Trump, because he has real ideas, common sense ideas about not allowing people to just come into our country without even doing background checks on them, without even asking them questions. Maybe he's not a racist. Maybe he just loves the country that he's lived in his entire life and he's built his fortune in, and maybe he wants to take a pay cut, a large pay cut, to just make America great again. Maybe that's just it. But you can't even talk like that anymore because you're labeled a racist and a sexist and so many ists and isms that they've labeled him. It's just ridiculous. I think he just loves our country and he wants to make America great again.
Well, I think it goes, not only I think that's part of the factor, but also it's being very, very hard in today's system to be a business person. Yes. You've got so much regulation, you've got all these government officials trying to be in competition with business, and so maybe he says, you know what, it's gone too far over. Maybe as a president, he could start cutting back on a lot of these regulations. To me, that would be a good reason to elect him president, just on that one issue alone, to make America better business climate.
Absolutely.
You know, and I think you're absolutely right, Chris. I would urge the listeners, be independent. Forget about the political parties. They're not even mentioned in the U.S. Constitution. You don't see the word Republican Party or Democratic Party or nothing. Be American. Be independent. Vote for Donald Trump, because I truly believe that he will make America great again. He'll make America safe again.
Absolutely.
He'll make America business-friendly again. Because right now it is getting uglier and uglier by the day.
And it's just, to me, it's unbelievable. We as a country, United States has invented just about everything relevant in the last 100 years, from the plane to the car to the computer to the internet. We've developed everything. How are we hundreds of billions of dollars in debt and trade deficit every year with China and Japan and Mexico? How's that possible when we've invented everything? These are our inventions, and they're basically taking our ideas and reselling it back to us. How are you?
Well, now let me just follow through on that. One of the most incredible inventions, most incredible vehicles we've ever had in our real life, the internet. We decide that we no longer want to keep control of it, so we pass it on to another government agency outside the United States of America. Absolutely. Now, how stupid can that be?
Very stupid. I don't understand it. And then these countries are hacking into our systems and learning our technologies, and I think somebody's pockets are getting padded somewhere along the way.
I know whose pockets are getting lined up. The Clintons' pockets are getting lined up big time. And you take a look at it, they are becoming filthy rich, and pretty soon, you know, they're talking about making all these changes against rich people. I guarantee you that once they become elected, if we get elected again, I guarantee you that all that conversation is going to go away. It's all it is political talk. It don't mean anything. it's sort of like, it's not just talking the talk, it's walking the walk. It's actually following through with what you say. Not to have two set of books, not to have a private conversation, a public conversation. It's about going out there and truly making credibility and integrity in a government, in a system. And America was great at one time. It was. If you are happy with America today, I guarantee you, you better look back in the mirror, because you know what? America's falling apart.
That's right.
Government is getting too powerful. They're getting into everything that they're getting into our privacy. They're getting into our business.
Absolutely.
They're getting into just too much. So you know what? Enough is enough, folks. Let's go out there and let's make a change. Let's send this establishment and the status quo in the other direction, because we don't want them around us anymore. We want to be Americans. We want to be able to live the American dream. We want freedom. We want liberty.
Absolutely.
We want to be able to have the greatness that God gives us every single day. Every day is a blessing. You know, I'm very thankful to be alive today. You know, I could have been, should have been, would have been dead by now. But with the God's grace, I'm here. And that's why I work every single day as hard as I can, so that I'm blessed. I'm thankful. I want to leave something to my kids and my grandkids. I want to leave something to them that they have a great future in America.
Absolutely.
Because I know, thank God, I had it. I mean, I had everything I wanted. Anything I wanted, I had it because I worked hard. I worked smart for it. And so this is it. This is the moment in time. This is your moment in time. Don't let them continue our downward in our society anymore. Absolutely. We can't afford that.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's just amazing. You know, read The Art of the Deal by Donald Trump. And, you know, it's very simple. When you don't like a deal and you're at a table, just get up and walk away. I mean, we've all went to buy cars from dealerships. When you turn around and leave, they call you back because they want the deal done. You don't have to accept the first deal. This Obama administration and Bill Clinton before him and what Hillary's going to do, they sit down at the table and they make horrible deals with these countries. I mean, she made a horrible deal with Iran. We sent $400 million over there to get 2 hostages back. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And I think Donald Trump would have got up from that table and walked out the door when you asked him for $400 million. But that's ridiculous. They're holding us hostage. That's how weak we are as a country. And that's why we're trillions of dollars in debt with China and these other countries. Get up, leave the table, walk away and say, this isn't a deal. This isn't a good deal for my country. It's a good deal for your country. It's not a good deal for my country.
Well, yeah, you know, the very sad part about it is, you know, Hillary's had the reset button, the red reset button with the Russians, and you know, you're here now. Look at what's going to happen with that reset. She can't reset the button with Russia. I guarantee you, there's leaders in Russia that are already planning to go to nuclear war with us if Hillary Clinton is elected president. You know, there's no chance. This, you know, it is the duty of our citizens to protect us from domestic and foreign enemies. And I tell you what, it would be shameful to have America get destroyed because of stupid politics.
You know, it's actually people are, to me, are silly, and the people on these liberals talk, well, why is Russia backing Trump? In my history, in my life, and what I've gone through, strong people like to be around strong people. I think Vladimir Putin respects Donald Trump. You'd be surprised leaders of countries like to be around other strong leaders. And I think that he does not trust Obama. He doesn't trust Clinton. And I think that people act out when they don't trust other people. I think some of his aggressiveness into Georgia and the Ukraine and even Syria is because he has no respect for Barack Obama whatsoever. I guarantee you, if Donald Trump is president, he does not do the things that he's done under Obama and Secretary Clinton's administration. I promise you that he won't.
Chris,
he will respect Donald Trump.
Chris, I totally agree with that too. And I think also is the fact that Putin is taking a look at Donald Trump as a businessman.
Yes.
Putin realizes that it's imperative upon himself to have a a great economic climate. And I think he has confidence in Donald Trump being a good businessman, making good business deals with Russia. So guess what? Both economies could prosper. Guess what? Putin stays in office, his people are happy, everything moves on, and the world is safer because guess what? They're not going to have time to be fighting each other. All they're going to do is enjoy making money and creating wealth. That's the bottom line, and that's the art of the deal right there, is making money, creating wealth, and Putin's not forgetting about all this personality stuff. It's not about personality, it's about economics, folks. Forget about the color of people, forget about all that stuff. We're all God's children, and we need to start acting like it. You know, do unto others as you want them to do upon you. We want to work together as a family, not as enemies. It's ridiculous. Let's go out there and let's support Donald Trump. Let's support the Republican ticket all the way across the board, because, it's imperative that we have control of all three branches of the government.
Absolutely.
Because then guess what? We then will be able to appoint U.S. Supreme Court justices that will be able to control the type of laws we have for the next 30 or 40 years.
Absolutely.
It's critical that we go out there and make this election good for Americans. It is very positive that we do that. So without anything else, I would like to say that if you need to get in touch with us, call 702-983-0711. Call in. This is Conservative Roundtable. My name is John Estrada. And this is very, very vital that we get your calls in and you ask statements or questions or make things call in and let us know what's going on with your daily life. But we want America to be great again. So call in anytime, 702-983-0711.
John, it's such an honor that you allow me to come on your show and talk. You love America. I can hear it in your voice. People, again, like I said earlier, Rolando is a great American. He is not getting paid to do this. He's doing this. He could be making money. Rolando's an intelligent person doing other things. He spends money out of his own pocket to keep this place open, to share his vision and his love for this country. And John, you're here every single day working your butt off because you're just trying to help the American people, and you don't want to see this country go down with Hillary Clinton because you love this country. Listen to these people's voices and their love. Why do you think these people are warning you? They're not stupid. They're not mind controlled. They are independent thinkers who love the United States of America. And there's a reason that Hillary Clinton has outgained Donald Trump is in support 800 million to 250 million. Who are these donors? We already know about Paper for Play. We know about Benghazi, and we know about these emails that she will not release. And I don't believe they're ever going to release these emails, because who are they? I know for a fact that these donors are not mostly American. They're coming from countries like China and Japan, and they want her to win, and they want another third Obama administration because things will stay status quo. They don't want to sit down with Donald Trump, because if you're not going to help United States of America, if you're not going to put Americans back to work, he will get up and walk away from that table. He is not going to sign his name on anything that's going to take more jobs out of this country and more wealth out of this country. He's taking a pay cut from billions of dollars to 400,000 because he loves America. And so these are all patriots. John, Rolando, Donald Trump. These are people that are not getting paid or taking pay cuts because they love this country. My wife and I have a business. We're busy, but we're over here every single day, hoping that one person hears us because we love this country.
Well, I would venture to say that we have more than one person listening. In fact, we have people all over the United States listening, and I truly believe that what you're saying does get out there, and it does make sense. I know that I share this program on social media, and I know that things are getting done, and that process is getting done. Now, just to go back, when I came to Las Vegas, I came because the Republican Party wanted to hire me. and I turned them down. I turned down a paycheck because it wasn't my cup of tea. They were going to pay me a substantial amount of money to work inside as field organizer for the Republican Party in Nevada. I said, no, that's not what I do. I believe that their mechanism is a certain way, and I believe that I can do more doing what I'm doing here with you, Chris, and getting that message out to all Americans, because this is not just about Las Vegas or Nevada. This is about America. This election is so vital, and I believe that I can get more done from this mic and through social media than I could collecting a paycheck, because it just doesn't work for me.
Wow. That's unbelievable. I mean, that's how much he loves his country and how much he believes that this election is so important. I have to run soon, my friend, but please listen to John every day and vote. Please watch this debate. It's extremely important. Hopefully, is Chris Wallace the moderator? Hopefully he will be fair towards Donald Trump and will, because they interrupt him. It's just ridiculous. They don't let him finish a sentence, and they allow Hillary to go over, it seems like every time, by minutes, and they don't stop her from talking. And the second that he makes a point or wants to rebut, oh, Mr. Trump, we're out of time now. It's, he said the last time, it's 1 against 3. This is ridiculous. It's not fair. So hopefully at least they'll be fair. I don't even want them to show him bias. Just be fair. Just be decent. Allow him to make his point. Again, John, thank you for having me on the show. Hopefully that, I can be on tomorrow and spend some time with you.
Yeah, Chris, thank you. I duly appreciate your insight and your political wisdom. And, we need more Americans like you that truly understand how important it is.
Thank you.
And I do want your business to be successful.
Thank you.
Every business in America, I want them to be successful because the government there's just too much rules, too much regulations out there.
This country was built on mom and pop stores. That's what this country was built on. So,
yeah, and so I hope one day you are the next Donald Trump, making billions of dollars, not just have one mail store in Las Vegas, maybe all over the country.
Oh, wow.
So I do thank you, Chris. Thank you very much for your effort and time, and you're more than invited to come over to any show you'd like to.
Oh, wow. Thank you, sir. All right. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you so much.
We're going to go ahead and have Rolando Lares. He is the publisher of the Las Vegas Tribune, the Tribune Broadcasting Network, and he's got a radio station, a radio program, and he'll be coming on in a little bit talking about more political news that's happening in America. I do think that it is up to us to get the job done. We cannot depend on our career politicians anymore. We cannot depend on another person. Everyone's got to take their job very seriously, being American. It's a job. It's a job to keep Americans safe, and the way we do that is for us to get good politicians in office. Not only good politicians, but smart politicians. We've had some pretty dumb politicians in office that really haven't taken care of our problems. And if they keep passing off to the next administration and the next administration, all that's going to do is going to create a bigger problem for the future. So I would venture to say it's very vital that you vote this election cycle. You vote because it matters. Your vote matters, and it's important. It's important because we cannot afford to leave a mess for our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren. So my name is John Estrada. If you want to be a sponsor or advertiser on this program, you can contact me on my cell phone, 559-8030-555. Well, Rolando, thanks for coming back.
Thank you for inviting me. It's a good thing I didn't go anywhere.
I'm glad you were here, and I'm glad you backed this up. Hopefully, the person that we had scheduled for the show calls the next time, and we'll have him on for a future date, because he is definitely a good person, and a good person that has great information, and they can help America be great again.
I was talking to my friend Jonathan Frederich, he's running for State Senate 3, and he's going to be here tomorrow at 2:30.
Excellent.
And we're going to have a radio show, and we're going to do some commercials for him.
Excellent.
And so
Excellent.
that he's running for State Senate 3.
Cool. All right, so basically, what's the game plan right now, Rolando? What are we going to do? What are we going to do to help get Americans to the polls?
We're going to get Donald Trump elected to be the next president of the United States.
It's that important.
It is very important, John, because we are going down the drain. We are going down the hill, and no brakes. And we have to stop this train. We need to stop this train, and we need to make sure that, you and I, no ill intent. We are over the hill now. We don't have any to worry about. We getting up there in age, but our children's, our grandchildren's,
and that's really my future. My children, my grandchildren, that's my future.
And so I'm lucky. I don't have any children.
Well, let me say I'm blessed, because I tell you what, to me, that's why I have so much passion. People say, well, John, why are you so crude? Why are you so, why don't you just, be safe? Just go to work 8 o'clock, get home at 5, and shut up. Don't say nothing.
Yeah.
Collect a paycheck.
That's right.
You know what, folks? I'm not that kind of person. I just can't do that. I have to help America be great again. And I truly am convinced that Donald Trump is the person to be our next commander-in-chief, and he would be a great president to get our economic country back on shape so we can pay our bills.
First of all, John, let me tell you something. Nobody that has become a president has the experience of being a president.
Exactly.
So he had no experience, but he has experience on being the president and the CEO and the chairman of the board of many companies that he has created. And he has the knowledge, the intelligence, and is humble enough to be able to hire the right people to work in his companies. That's why his company is successful. It's not because it's him. Of course, he helped, but he picked the right people for each department, and I am confident that Donald Trump is going to pick the best cabinet ever.
And that's really the bottom line. He picked a good vice presidential choice. And so, that's my point of view. The other point of view that I'd say is that he's shown great wisdom on picking people in his company. His children. He's got his children now part of that company.
We're going to have the first family that they haven't had in a very long time. We have not have a first family like we will have if Donald Trump is elected president. Can you imagine, honestly, and I don't mean that as an insult or anything like that, can you imagine what the White House will be with Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton in there? I got the feeling that place will be worse than an X-rated theater.
Well, let me say this. I'm optimistic. I think it's still possible and probable we can win. But we're not going to win if we all stand back and wait for something to happen. We got to go out there and make something happen.
That's right. It is very important to do that. And like I said, we need to make sure that we can get the country back. We need to make sure that we have the opportunity to leave our children's, our next generation, children's, grandchildren, whatever it is, we need to make sure that they are going to have a country to live on. Can you imagine to have a country with no border? Everybody's coming in and coming out, and all kind of diseases and all kind of illness. That isn't the good part. That isn't the good part, illness and diseases. And now you got people with strange drugs coming over here, giving it to our children.
Well, let me put the worst case scenario. Let's say somebody carries a briefcase in that has a nuclear warhead or a dirty bomb.
Yeah, but that will not be the problem. That will not be the case. If they are already here, if they already have the country, if they already running the country and with Hillary Clinton, and her entourage of inept.
Yeah.
No, I'm not worried about that because they don't need to destroy what they already have. They walk in here and they take possession of the country.
But I think what it is I truly believe is that they're going to be hoodwinked again. In other words, Iran does not like America.
Yeah.
All these countries do not like America.
Right.
In other words,
but if you have Iranians coming over here and they can come in and
but I think they'd only come in. Some of these terrorists would only come in to destroy America. I just don't think they're all going to come over here and live the American dream. It's just, to me, I just don't think that's possible.
It would be no American dream, John.
Yeah.
It would be no American dream, people. You have to realize. It's like if I leave that door unlocked, people coming in. Look, this morning when I came in, there was a homeless man sleeping in the front door.
Wow.
I have to take him out of there in order for me to come in.
Yeah.
Now, if the door is open, he can come in and lay down and
sit on the couch and have a cup of coffee.
And then he bring his friend, and then the friend bring another friend, and that's why they don't need to destroy anything.
Yeah,
because they already take possession.
They take it over. Well, I'm optimistic, and I truly believe that we could still pull this off. I'm not giving up the ship. We're going to fight for every single day from now until election, and even after election, we'll just have a new fight.
And I tell you how the people of this country can help to keep the country is by keeping an eye on the ballot. See, Hillary Clinton was here yesterday, I believe, or
yesterday.
Mm-hmm. And she made emphasis on voting early. That voting early is a very dangerous because when they take the vote from point A to from point B or C or D to point A, you don't know what happened in that truck where the votes are.
Yeah.
They can switch it.
Sure.
You have to make sure that everybody keep an eye on those polls. You have to make sure that everybody keep an eye. They're not tricky. Even Donald Trump said the election can be rigged. And we don't want.
Well, we already know it's been rigged. It's been rigged since day one. Because of the media, the establishment, the status quo, it's all been rigged. It has been a rigged election. Bernie Sanders, they took him out. They took him, and they didn't care what his people were all about.
Let me tell you what happened during my show previously. You and Chris was talking about Bernie Sanders. What happened with Bernie Sanders? It was an abortion. They put him there because they never had the idea that he was going to pull the amount of followers. They used him to put him in there so she has somebody to run against
exactly.
in the primary. So she got the opportunity. If she didn't have Bernie Sanders, she couldn't even raise money. She could not raise money because she was not allowed by the law. That doesn't mean anything to her, but
yeah.
But they put Bernie Sanders in there, and they was shocked what happened.
Well, the thing is that it's not so much that Bernie was such a great candidate. She's a terrible candidate. And it showed, they're saying, well, why isn't she 50 points up already over Donald Trump? Because she's such a bad candidate.
Yeah.
Barack Obama beat her. And at that time, what chance, it was pretty amazing. Every time that she tries to run for office, her candidacy starts falling apart.
Yeah, I don't know how, because people realize how bad she is. People, and that's why I was telling this guy on the phone now, my friend Jonathan, then he's running for the state senate 3. What happened is very simple. The people don't realize then the American people are not that stupid. They are intelligent people. They realize.
But the Democrats call them stupid.
They might give you the rope. They might give you rope to go to see how far you're going to go. But believe me, she didn't win. She didn't win the primary election with Obama, and twice, right?
Yeah.
Twice.
I think she definitely lost the first time out. I don't think she ran the second time out. I
don't think so either. But remember what Donald Trump told her. I said, don't talk to me about your friend Michelle Obama. I can show you the commercials that you wrote against.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah. They hated each other.
They do. They still do.
Yeah, they do. And he brought Hillary in as Secretary of State just to sort of pacify her, because he didn't want to have more interruptions, and so and look at what a terrible job she did as Secretary of State. The reset with the Russians, Benghazi, just goes on and on.
She did a terrible job as a U.S. Senator for New York too. Yeah. It's not a secret. She didn't do nothing for New York.
Yeah.
Or for New York, so now the thing is, then I like to talk a little bit about those deportations.
Deported veterans?
Deported veterans. I like you to tell the audience. And I know it's your show.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Let me say this: deported veterans. This is an issue that I've been following now for about a year and a half, almost 2 years. And I found out about it just out of Facebook. I could not believe what I saw, and I've been following it ever since. And it's really, truly a disgrace on our government and our government leaders not solving this problem immediately. They're still allowing U.S. military veterans that never were given their citizenship, and they run into a little problem after they get honorable discharges, and they end up getting deported out of the United States of America. It is to me, I think, is probably.
But let me ask you, so don't they give him some kind of release papers or anything like that?
They do get a document. To me, I think once they give I think the law's got to change. Basically, when a person from a foreign nation joins our military to fight on our side, they go through and they serve their entire enlistment term. They get an honorable discharge. That should be a ticket to citizenship.
Okay, now let me ask you something. Then it might divert a little bit. Why the American government have to hire foreign people to go serve in the armed forces?
That is $1 million question, Rolando. That is the question.
What are they
because hold on,
using these people?
Yes, they are slave labor. Let me just go a step further. Okay, right now in today's military, only 1% of Americans serve in the United States military today. Only 1% of Americans. Now, there are a lot of Americans that can serve. It's a voluntary. You're not drafted anymore. You volunteer for that position. But
do you believe in the draft?
I think it would be a good idea that every young American have some kind of government experience. And to me, I'm a U.S. military veteran. I volunteered. So yes.
But in those days, it used to be.
No. I went in because they had stopped the draft.
Oh, they stopped it.
They stopped the draft, and so I volunteered. So I did it. I volunteered.
No, I
did it because I believe that it would be a good experience for me.
When I went in, the draft still exists.
Yeah.
They never called me,
Yeah.
but I went voluntarily, even though the draft was still in. They didn't call me; I called them.
Yeah, but for whatever reason, let's go back to your statement, because it's a really good question dealing with why are we using foreign individuals to serve in our military to protect us. You would think on the surface that doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
But on the other hand, you look at the other side of the coin, is that if they're willing to serve and they're willing to help America and willing to put their life on the line, I think they should.
How do we know? How do we know how good of intention do they have?
Well,
it's like, let me tell you, somebody come over here now and said, look guys, I'm going to clean this place for you. And you and I said, well, we got to go out. Maybe you come back tomorrow. He said, oh, no, trust me. You guys can go. I clean the place. And they really clean the place.
Yeah, they cleaned it out.
They clean everything. They take the table, the desk, and chairs. That's what I'm trying to say. Why would anybody?
Let me just say this, okay? When you're in the military, it's very, very hard for one individual to do a lot of damage. You would be able to spot them. It would take them years and years, because everything is teamwork in the military.
Yeah.
And so usually you don't have one person by themselves. There's a team member with them. There's always other people watching. There's a hierarchy on levels of management.
Yeah, but it's also people with ill mentality.
And there have been problems where you had, like this guy at Fort Hood.
Yeah.
You had that one guy that he was a crazy terrorist and he caused major damage. So yeah, I guess you could. There are individuals that get slipped through the process.
And not only that, John. I believe that most people that have an ill mentality or criminal mind, they have the ability to gain the trust of the next guy in the platoon, or they can make you believe, oh man, this guy is a nice guy, and they can convince.
Well, let's say this: we've been doing this for a long time. This has been going on through World War II. It's been going on probably World War I. We've been getting foreign fighters.
Do you know how many of these people are there?
Deported veterans. I would say probably hundreds. But they're just not in Mexico. They're all over the world.
Oh, no, I understand that. And I tell you the truth, I don't believe that who is there?
It's a mailman.
I don't believe that the main concern, it is the Mexicans. I really don't. I got more concern and more worry about the Syrians,
Well, it's just like what we're finding out now, that the 911, actually those terrorists came in via Canada. And also they came in, were financed, from what I understand, through Saudi Arabia. So Mexico has been very, very loyal over the last couple of hundred years. In fact, I understand that during World War II, Hitler tried to get the Mexican people to turn against the United States, and they refused Hitler. So I think if you look through the history of Mexico and American cooperation, we've been friends and allies for God knows how long. And I think that will, even if Donald Trump is elected president, I think that relationship will be very strong, and I think both sides will win. He does not hate the Mexican people. He wants to help the Mexican people have a good economic life too. And Mexican people would be doing much, much better with a Donald Trump administration.
I think so, and I tell you, I believe that a great majority of the Mexican people really are not against Donald Trump. Only the ones that have been brainwashed, those who's been getting, Donald Trump, I see him on TV,
well, they've turned his words, and they don't add on the last statement he made. There are good Mexicans too. They didn't get that part. They only get the thing that, Mexicans are criminals and this and that, but they didn't.
Like they said about that judge, I don't want him to be in my case because it's not because he's Mexican. He feel that the guy might not be fair. First of all, he belonged to La Raza.
Yeah.
That is an anti-government institution that everybody knows about that. Second one, he was afraid that because he mentioned that there are Mexicans that come here to commit crimes and his words have been twisted, he felt that the guy was not going to be fair. That's what it was. It's not because he was Mexican.
Well, let's...
First of all, he's not Mexican. He was born here in Indiana.
Okay, but let's be very factual. There are Mexicans that come to America as criminals.
Yeah.
It's common knowledge. I mean, Chapa is one of the big leaders of the drug cartel, and he's got an organization all over the world that basically causes criminal acts of violence and drug dealing and stuff like that. So Donald Trump, by him pointing out that as being an issue, a lot of Americans are concerned about that.
Yeah, a lot of them, of course they are.
And so the best way to protect oneself, you would think, is build a door or close your door, lock your door if you have to keep a terrorist out of your home or a bad guy, just like that homeless guy this morning. I get it, like you were saying, if that door was open, they'd come through, and that's what's happening today with the border.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. So, every country has a border. Why are we going to be different? Why are we going to be different? That's my question to whoever knows. That's my question to Hillary Clinton. Why do you want to have open borders? It's like the
That's
Pope.
A good question.
It's like the Pope. And I'm Catholic.
I'm Catholic too.
I go to church every once in a while. I thank the good Lord for the day that He gave me, all that stuff. But the Pope commit the indiscretion to come over here to tell the people of this country how to run their country.
Wow.
But look at the wall he got in the Vatican.
Okay, but let me say this, okay? Bottom line, Christian teaching, abortion is wrong.
Yes.
Abortion is wrong.
Right.
And there's a lot of Catholics that are Democrats that support abortion.
Yes.
And so I would hope that the Pope would take a stronger stance against those.
Especially Hillary Clinton.
Yeah. Take a position. If the Pope wants to get involved in political dialogue and public policy and stuff like that, let's really put a big sign on these Democrats that say they're Catholic and support Planned Parenthood and abortion. My feeling is Planned Parenthood is a criminal element, a criminal business, and needs to be closed.
I was also mentioned the fact that the Pope went to I think he went to the Senate or the Congress, I don't remember where he went to talk, and he said, you have to welcome everybody, you have to open the borders, but why don't he open his borders?
Wow, it's just like anything. the grass is always greener on the other side, or somebody has a position about how other people should run their business.
Yeah.
But I can understand that you're saying is look at your oneself before you start looking at other people.
Right.
Something like that.
That's my opinion. It's like.
Well, I think that if you're going to talk one side, you should talk the other side too. Abortion is wrong, and the Pope should take a stronger position on it.
That's fine. He can take all the position he wants to. But don't tell the American people, don't tell the American government how to run.
Frankly, they don't even care what the Pope says.
Well, I hope not, because he
I
wanted open borders.
Well, I just don't.
He want to welcome everybody to America. He welcome everybody in Rome.
Well, I just don't think that's a possibility. I just don't think that's going to work. I think what's going to happen at the end of the day is that Americans are going to do what they want to do, and whether or not it's the Pope or any other entity in the world, I think we're going to be focusing on certain aspects of our own discussion, our own dialogue, and so. But as far as open borders, it's not a good policy. I don't support it. I think we need to have a wall. I think we need to know who's coming in and who's going out, and we got to know what's coming in and what's not coming in. So I think having a smart political process that works for us, I think, is a good idea. Well, Rolando, I think we're getting to the last couple of minutes of the show. Any final thoughts on today?
No, all I can tell everybody is that for the sake of the country, for the sake of the future, don't let Hillary Clinton take over this country, because she's going to give it to all those people that want to come in. She wants to open border, and most of the people that are going to come over here, they are people that are broke. They're not even going to bring people that have money. They're going to be able to, even in Nevada, going to Perron and have a good time over there in the ranches. They're going to come over here to get welfare and to get food stamp. We don't need any more food stamp and much welfare.
Well, one of the issues that I'm really worried about is that when you have so many illegal immigrants coming in, the chance of them taking these open positions, these jobs, away from Americans is a real possibility.
That's right.
And so you're going to have double the problem, because the people coming in are not going to get the best deal possible. They're going to get lower wages, and that's not good for our economy. We need to keep wages higher. People need to have a living wage. They just don't need to have minimum wage. You need to have a living wage. It's very difficult for people to live in that fashion.
How is it?
But anyway, I don't know. I think we better wrap this up. We're getting the sign here. So
don't forget the Mail by Rene is sponsored.
Yes, Mail by Rene. Make sure that you go out there and call them and make sure that happens. But I do want to thank you. This is Conservative Roundtable. My name is John Estrada. If you want to sponsor, advertise, my number is 559-803-055. Thank you. Go out and vote for Donald Trump. God bless America, and have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow with Deported Veterans. Thank you.
Radio.